Hello, everyone, and thank you for visiting my channel. Today, I want to discuss when you should consider moving back to the West. Like, what would be the signs for you to do so? Stay tuned. You should consider several important factors that may influence your decision when thinking about return to the West. These include personal, cultural, and career considerations, along with specific medical and financial reasons. One of the main factors influencing many expats, including older ones, to go back to the West is your access to high quality healthcare. Healthcare services can vary greatly in quality and consistency in the Philippines, and for some expats, these differences can lead to serious treatment complications. Another thing that's considered after settling in the Philippines is that the healthcare infrastructure tends to be well developed in the West, especially in countries like the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Advanced treatment options, specialized consultations, and a higher standard of preventative care are typically available within this infrastructure. Lack of access to quality medical care can be a concern for expats living in the Philippines with underdeveloped or overwhelmed healthcare systems. For example, in countries with limited medical facilities or expertise, an expat with ongoing health issues may find it increasingly difficult to get the right care or specialized attention. Comparing the long term viability of their healthcare needs in the Philippines with what is available back home is crucial for individuals with chronic conditions, families with children, or those needing specialized treatments. Another significant concern for expats is the cost of healthcare. Unlike the Philippines and many other host countries that may require out of pocket payments for even basic services, Western countries generally have strong insurance systems that may cover all or part of medical expenses. Although major health issues could put an expat in a difficult financial situation, as they struggle to pay for expensive treatments that insurance only partially covers, in contrast to the often high out of pocket costs in the Philippines for major treatments, many insurance plans in the West offer emergency services, specialized care, and preventative care that can reduce financial strain. Therefore, if medical needs and expenses become overwhelming, it might be enough to encourage expats to consider returning to the West. Another thing to take into account is that people who return to the West often have easier access to essential prescription drugs and advanced therapies that might be limited or unavailable in the Philippines. Certain medications, many of which are not easily accessible everywhere, may be necessary for specific medical conditions that some expats, especially older ones, have. Access to these treatments can sometimes be hindered by logistical issues, such as language barriers or regional laws regulating pharmaceuticals. When considering return to the West, financial considerations are often very important. These reasons can include various factors, such as the high cost of living abroad or the overall earning potential in the country. Because of the possibility of higher pay and more career growth opportunities, expats often seek work abroad. However, there may be less motivation to stay if these opportunities do not come true or if pay rates begin to stagnate. Western countries generally offer higher salaries and better benefits than in the Philippines in key industries like technology, healthcare, and finance. Returning to the West can become an attractive option for expats who cannot advance in the fast changing global job market or who face shrinking financial prospects. Furthermore, changes in labor markets and economic conditions can affect expats' job security. If the Philippines economy worsens, as it might during a downturn or crisis, the remote job market may shrink as well, leading to job losses or stagnant wages. In such cases, many expats reevaluate their career plans and consider returning to the stable job markets in the West, which typically offer more security and growth potential. In addition to earning potential, rising living costs might motivate expats to go back home. Expenses for housing, transportation, and essentials can soar in many areas of the Philippines, especially in cities with higher standards of living. Financial stress can build as expats have to spend an increasing portion of their income on basic needs. When planning for their future abroad, many expats face the challenge of maintaining a comfortable lifestyle while managing high living expenses. The decision to return to the West is heavily influenced by factors beyond just medical and financial concerns, though. These include the desire to reconnect with family and social networks. While living abroad, expats often experience shifts in their family structures. Births, marriages, and other significant life events can create feelings of longing and may motivate a desire to go back home. As they recognize the emotional, social, and developmental benefits these relationships offer, the importance of being near Asian parents, watching children grow up with cousins, or simply spending more time with immediate family often outweighs the appeal of staying overseas. Furthermore, many expats want to raise their children in a stable environment with reputable educational systems. Expat parents often find better educational resources and activities in their home countries compared to the Philippines, especially since the West typically offers comprehensive schooling options. If their children have health issues or special educational needs that are better addressed at home, this concern becomes even more urgent. For some expats, loneliness can also increase due to the emotional strain of living abroad, especially if they face cultural differences or feel excluded in the Philippines. Feelings of isolation and dissatisfaction may arise from social situations where many expats feel alienated or misunderstood. Another benefit of returning home if things don't work out in the Philippines is that returning home allows you to reconnect with familiar social environments, which can reduce feelings of alienation and boost your overall emotional well being. Culture shock also plays a significant role in the decision to leave. Being an outsider can negatively affect one's emotions, even though many expats succeed in the Philippines. When cultural differences become overwhelming, the comfort and familiarity of one's home culture becomes more appealing. Depending on how long you are in the Philippines or anywhere abroad, returning to the West can be challenging, especially if you experience reverse culture shock. Feelings of uncertainty and worry might surface while readjusting to life at home after adapting to a new set of traditions and practices. It can be difficult for some expats to reconnect with their roots because their communities may have changed during their absence. Understanding these nuances is crucial before deciding, because returning home often requires more mental and emotional effort. In conclusion, choosing to return to the West is a complex decision influenced by various medical, financial, familial, and cultural factors. For those struggling to assess healthcare, facing high expenses, or experiencing stagnant career prospects, returning home might be more than just a feasible option. Factors such as emotional well being, family relationships, and professional goals also provide a strong case for going back home. Since each expat situation is unique, it is vital to carefully assess your circumstances before making the decision to return to the West. Alright, guys, that is all for today's show. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share them in the comments section below. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good day.